So I just started my Pokemon card business about a week ago now. ChasePacksTCG.com if you haven't checked it out yet. And so I'm on YouTube and I'm scrolling through and I see that Brian at Pokey posted a video for the first time in a long time. So I'm like, oh, cool, let's check it out. And the thumbnail reads, Japanese is dead. And without watching the video, I kind of already knew what this was going to be about. Because if you haven't been paying attention to the Japanese Pokemon card market, it has been insane. I think I bought my Mega Dream boxes at like 101 with tariffs and shipped. And now they're up to like, I think the last time I checked the supplier was like 116. Uh, and Ninja Spinner, the first time I considered even buying it, looking at prices, it was like 77 a box. Now I think it's 97 or 99 a box. It's almost $100 a box. So I'm like, wow, these prices are going like crazy. Now I pay attention to the Japanese market, but I never paid attention to it in the way that somebody who runs an online Pokemon card store who sells Japanese products would, right? I don't check it daily. I don't check the price list daily. I am now, right? But I'm like, these prices are going up very quickly. So anyway, going back, watch Brian Pukini's video on the Japanese card market. And if you haven't watched it yet, again, go back and watch it because it's good. But essentially the whole video is that how do I want to explain this? That the prices that we are seeing from people who buy from Japanese suppliers to put product on their stores, on their shelves, whatever you want to call it, those people who we are buying from, the people who sell them the product, that price that's coming to them is being manipulated by organized crime, essentially. And if you go back and watch his video, he explains, because I wasn't dealing in Japanese Pokemon cards. I don't remember if he put a timeline on when this happened, but it was years back. There was another set or two that was affected by this same thing. I don't know if he knew that or he speculated that at the time, but regardless, it's happened before, is what he was essentially saying. And it seemed like, understanding or just listening to the tone of the video, that this is a lot worse than actually, I think he said that outright. This is a lot worse than when it was in his previous experience. And I can't imagine it was any worse back then than it is now. The prices are crazy. The last time I checked, tariffs and shipped for Inferno X was like $202. I mean, yeah, 200, 205. It was something like that. Insane prices. Insane prices. So, of course, my first thought is, all right, I just started this Pokemon card business. I am only dealing in Japan right now. Obviously, the end goal would be to do Japanese and English, but I'm not there yet. So I'm just dealing in Japanese. And after hearing this news, which honestly, I'm not surprised that these prices can be affected by organized crime. I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised that whether it's organized crime or not, big money affects collectibles, especially when Pokemon is as hot as it is right now. It's not terribly surprising. It is horrific timing for me, though, considering I just started this. So, I watched the video. It was very well done, very engaging, great video. But surprisingly to me, I guess the entire time I was watching it, despite just starting my business, who deals in Japanese Pokemon cards, I was somewhat, I don't know why, somewhat unfazed by it. And I guess I'll tell you why. I don't know why. I'll try and I'll give some reasons why I'm not too worried about it. Maybe I should be a lot more worried than I am. I guess part of the reason that I'm not as worried as I am is because the Pokemon card business is not my job. I have another job. I do this on the side. Like, I just started this, right? So hoping to build it big enough to where that is my job, but we're not there yet. Help me out, ChasePacksTCG.com. But so I wasn't, like, after I got done watching the video, you would think that somebody who just started their Japanese Pokemon card business would be real upset about that. And it wasn't great news, but I don't know. I found myself being like, okay, this, like a lot of things in collectibles and a lot of things in the Pokemon card hobby, it's going to come and it's going to go. Eventually things will go back to normal. What the time frame is on that, I have no idea. But it also did give me hope that Brian was talking about how this happened before and then it went away. I'd have to go back and watch it again, but it went away and then it's like back better than ever now, like insanely affecting all the boxes, right? But I guess the reason I'm not too worried about it is, again, I just said it, but the Pokemon market, the collectible market, like it comes and it goes. I know we're in like a hot market right now, but I guess one thing you could say is if it is organized crime, my first thought was, okay, if they're doing it to clean money, which is essentially what Brian was arguing that they were doing, which makes complete sense, to be honest. Because they do that with fine art. I mean, that they do that through business, right? All these things. But with Pokemon cards specifically, it is art, right? These are drawn arts on these cards. And if they're cleaning money, I guess the hopeful wish is that they cleaned enough money through Pokemon cards that maybe they'll leave them alone and they'll move on to something else. Or potentially they just keep doing it through Pokemon cards and it keeps affecting Japanese Pokemon boxes. So people like me who are trying to run a Japanese Pokemon card store, it makes it almost impossible to make any kind of margin at all, and probably losing money on every sale that you make. But another point I wanted to make was, okay, if the suppliers who are supplying the Japanese product to stores like mine, stores like yours potentially, if the prices get too high, right? So the issue is the English market price is less or the same as what you could buy them in bulk pricing from Japanese suppliers. So if there's no potential for stores to make money, especially a store who does more than just Japanese cards, like if you do Japanese and you do English, or you do Japanese and you do Chinese, or whatever it is, if you have another outlet with your store to make money and you don't have to solely rely on Japanese cards to fund your business, to roll money into your business, then I would imagine those stores aren't going to order any more Japanese cards. And if those Japanese suppliers aren't seeing any money because stores are not buying from them because the prices aren't, well, functional for their business, then you would have to imagine that when they go to buy in bulk from the organized crime who are selling them the boxes or manipulating the price in some way, whatever you want to call it, I don't know if they're exactly selling them the boxes, then you would think that, okay, they can't move boxes, the prices are too high. So even if this organized crime was upping the price, who is selling to the Japanese supplier who then sells to stores like mine, if they can't move the product, they're going to have to lower the price or they're not going to make any money. Um, I know it's probably more complicated than that, especially when there's organized crime involved. And yeah, but again, they're doing this for a reason. They want to move money, clean money, make money. But I guess the other point would be, yeah, it doesn't seem like the market is slowing down at all right now. But I feel like there has to come a time where this can't be sustained. These insanely high rising and rising prices from our Japanese suppliers, I just don't understand. I don't see how it could sustain this because, again, if I can't break even at least selling these Japanese boxes, then I'm probably not going to buy any. I can take losses. I don't have to make a margin on everything I sell, because I'm at the point in my business where I'm trying to accumulate the biggest customer base I can get. I'm not exactly trying to like make the biggest margin I could possibly make. Obviously, I want to make money, but step one, get a customer base. Step two, make a little bit of money. That's my thought, at least, for it. So man, it's tough. I don't know. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments. If you don't follow the Japanese Pokemon card market, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But if you do, you've seen these insanely high price spikes. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments about it. If you run an online store and you do sell Japanese, um, honestly, and after watching that video, the first couple thoughts I had was like, okay, you got to know how to pivot, right? So I've always wanted to sell sealed product. I love singles. I enjoy collecting singles. As a collector, I collect singles. Right. As a business, I didn't really want to deal in singles. That's not really what I want to do as a business. Um, but if it comes down to it, and these Japanese boxes are the prices they are, and I obviously I'm not getting English distribution anytime soon, then maybe that's a possibility I could go into. Excuse me, I'm drinking too much pop. Um, Another option for me to pivot, with the Japanese market being the way it is, another way to pivot for me would be collection buyouts. But I have nothing against collection buyouts and selling English Pokemon cards, buy low, sell high, right? All those things. Buying somebody's collection for 80%, 85%, depending on what it is, all that stuff. Good stuff. Works great. It's a proven business model for hundreds of years. And if it gets to the point where I can't make a margin on Japanese Pokemon cards, I will do that. But I guess just constantly buying and flipping collections isn't really how I want to build a business. It's a good way to make some extra money. If you have the money to buy the collections, get your discounted price, and sell at market, it's a great way to make money. It is. You also have to have connections. People have to, well, in the ideal situation, people would reach out to you for collection buys, right? And I'm not at that point yet. So the collection buying is a good idea, I don't know if it's exactly a way to really build a business in the beginning either. But at this point, I'm just trying to think about different ideas, how to keep this going, hopefully until the Japanese Pokemon card market finds finds a balance with the English market. Because again, right now, you could pick up boxes on TCG Player and on stores like mine for cheaper than you could get them wholesale from Japanese suppliers. So I don't see how that could sustain. I don't see how something is going to have to break or give eventually. But I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments. Check out the store, ChasePacksTCG.com, if you're looking for some Japanese Pokemon cards. We still have some on there, Ninja Spinner and Mega Dream. If you're enjoying the videos, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.